How's it going, guys? My name is TJP, and welcome back to another NHL 23 Franchise Rebuilding Challenge. So, we did our first video on the Canadiens. Now, this is our first Western Conference team, so East-West. So, I'm going to be alternating it. We've got the Arizona Coyotes. So, if you're enjoying the content, leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Let me know down in the comments for more video ideas. Check my stuff down in the description. We have a playlist down below containing other NHL 23 franchise rebuilding content. Also, check out my channel for content for TJP. We got a second channel down in the description. So yeah, same rules as applied, and we'll continue to apply throughout the series. We're here to have some fun. See if we can try to win in 3 seasons. It may or may not be realistic, but, you know, again, that's the whole point. It's try to rebuild within 3 seasons, and, you know, we'll see if we can do. We'll see if we can, how far we can get with them. It would be cool if we can get a Stanley Cup, but if not, as long as we can make, like, a competitive team, I'll be happy with that. At least make the playoffs. I'd be cool with that too. So, I guess with that being said, let's get on the gameplay. Alright, so let's take a look at the roster for the Coyotes. So we've got Clayton Keller on the team. Coast Despair, we've got him. We've got Chichrun, Schmaltz, Krause, Hayton, Stetcher, Kasian, Nemeth, Bukestad, Boyd, Ritchie, Fisher, Moser, Ladd, Mayo, love Mayo, love Mayo, Smith, O'Brien, Brown, McBain. So, I mean, you guys see, pretty solid team, relatively young, I'd say. I'd say we have a few young guys. Obviously, Clayton Keller's to be our one of our bigger players we want to keep around for this entire video for sure. So he'll definitely be the focal point of the team, I would say. But I mean, there's a few guys that we might want to try to maneuver some moves with, try to see if we can find some improvements for, and build through, you know, the draft, because I feel like we have a lot of picks, if I'm not mistaken. We'll take a look at that, but let's take a look at the lines just really quickly, see what we got going on here. Yeah, sure, head coach. Of course you can help. You're the head coach. You're the one coaching, right? So Keller, Nick Schmaltz, Lawson Krause, we got them as our first line, which is pretty solid. Again, we could probably use some forward depth here. Our centers, Travis Boyd, Bukestad, Nick Ritchie, Barrett Hayton, Chris Fisher, Zach Kasian, Nate Smith, Liam O'Brien, and then Andrew Ladd. I mean, yeah, I think we could probably look for a few centers on the team, a few forwards, just to help us out. We need some depth there. How about our defense? Defensive lines, yeah, we probably look to improve there too. Nice Bayo, JJ Moser, so he could probably improve there. Patrick Nemeth, Troy Stetcher. But yeah, I mean, our first line isn't terrible, but yeah, our defense after that's a little bit iffy. I mean, I could maybe switch these and have Mayo be like our second line. That way we just have nobody with negative chem. But I do want to see if we can improve there as well. And I forgot to show you guys the goalies, so let's take a look at that really quickly as well. I guess we could have looked at it there, but we'll look at it here. Bijmelka and Johansson. So that's who we've got, or Johansson. Could be that too, or Johansson. So anyways, yeah. Those are our 2 guys. We also have John back here as well, backing up. But I don't foresee him being here too long. I feel like they might set him down. But yeah, our goalies, probably use a little bit of improvement there. But I think for now, we can kind of just keep the team in terms of that the way it is. I do want to see if we can try to get some forwards, though, on this for this team, because we're definitely lacking a little bit of depth there. So let's see what trades could be out there. We can try to find, because, again, we have a lot of picks for this upcoming draft. And I assume we're not going to be good, which is totally fine. Because I'm not really expecting to be good in our first season. It might take even 2 seasons to make the playoffs. So, yeah, we have a little bit of draft capital, mainly some seconds and some thirds. But yeah, they go deep. So, with that being said, I will see if I can find a move here. All right, so I traded it for Jesper Bratt and also John Marino from the Devils. We traded away Andrew Ladd, and we also traded away Bukestad. Reason for doing that, because they're both relatively old on expiring contracts, I think, and then we also gave up like a 2028 first round pick. So yeah, these guys are a lot younger, kind of fit our team a little bit better in terms of the age range. So you know, like I said, I'm trying to get a pretty solid pick here, and I wasn't going to intend on re-signing those guys anyway. Nemeth for POJ, Danton Heinen, as well as Kasperi Kapanen. And we also got rid of Nemeth and O'Brien and a 2027 first-round pick. Again, just guys that we're probably not going to re-sign. And we got some guys, some young guys that are a little bit good, some on the defensive side, and a couple of guys that are pretty solid forwards. So I think in terms of moves for now, I'm fine with the team the way it is. So we'll kind of just simulate, I guess, you know, until we get to either January, like around January, right before the trade deadline, look at the stats, unless there's a move that happens to pop up before. But yeah, I do expect us to not be the best of teams. Obviously, our line's going to be looking a bit different now. Hopefully better. They look a little bit better, but, you know, again, I'm not trying to win too many games. So, yeah, it's some young guys, younger guys on the team, so we'll see how they develop throughout the season, both on offense and defense. Again, I'm going to do this just because I want the line chemistry to not be, like, super-duper negative on one of the sides. So, with that being said, I will see you guys at the... So, we're right around January. No moves, like, kind of popped up for us throughout the season that I wanted to make. And, honestly, I'm kind of surprised where the team is right now. I was not expecting us to be 27, 21, and 2. I'll be honest. Which isn't bad. That's not terrible. 56 points. We were right there with the Stars, the Jets, kind of not too close, kind of close with them. So, I mean, good first half of the season. I mean, can't complain about that. I mean, the guys are playing well, so I'm pretty happy about that. Even though, I'm not really trying to compete. But I guess, you know, hey, if we could compete earlier than expected, I'm not going to be mad about that. Jesper's doing his thing out there, leading the team in points. Got 22 goals and 24 assists. So, Jesper, that's nice to see from you. Clayton Keller's doing his thing out there. He's got 42. Nick Schmaltz, 38. Chychrun's got 29. Dan Heinen, 28. Kraus with 24. Shane's got 24. Kappen's got 24. Fisher's got 22. Travis Boyd is doing his thing. Excuse me, I'm choking. John Mario's scratched, which is cool to see. Obviously, I'm kidding. That's not cool to see. In terms of our hits, blocks, shots, giveaways, takeaways, we'll take a look at those, how we're doing there. Who's the tone setter? Jacob is, obviously, then Schmaltz, Kraus. Oh, yeah, I didn't even realize he was scratched, so that's nice to see. We got a few guys scratched. Not sure what that's all about. Hopefully they are not scratched for too long. In terms of block shots, you guys can see who's leading there. Obviously, going to be mainly our defense. Giveaways, we do have Schmaltz, Stetcher doing his thing out there as well with 41. I mean, obviously, you don't want to be giving away a puck, but, you know, they got to be doing the thing, right? Clayton Keller leading the team in takeaways, though, with 74. That's nice to see. Jesper's got 53, 33 for Lawson. So kind of a dip. Like, he's really high, and then he's pretty high. Cleared first, second, and then kind of dips after that. But still pretty solid nevertheless. Yeah, obviously the team's doing good for the most part. How are our goalies looking? Vizmelka's been pretty solid. And then Jonas Johansson's been pretty good, too, as well. So, yeah. I mean, 2.74 goals against average, not too bad. 3.4 is a little high, but, you know, it's fine as a backup. We'll take it. In terms of the team stats, let's see where we're looking here. Obviously, you know, Colorado is pretty good. But, yeah, I mean, 2.88 goals against average is actually not bad. If I take a look at who's leading in that, obviously you guys can see. But we are, you know, I feel like near the top half of the league when it comes into that. Close to it. Maybe the middle, but still not bad. And then 2.86 goals against per game is not terrible. So, through the first half of the season, we've been pretty good. I don't know if we can keep it up, but I am kind of curious to see if there's anybody maybe that we want to try to let go of that I don't know if I want to, like, keep. It maybe be, like, a small move. Maybe try to get, like, a low draft pick. Other than that, I mean, that would be the only move I make. Otherwise, I'll just keep the team the way it is for the rest of the season. Unless something pops up before the deadline that I might want to do. But, yeah, I think that'd be the only thing. Is maybe if there's anybody that's expiring that I don't want to keep on the team. We're pretty much at the end of the season. Unfortunately, we could not make the playoffs, which is fine. I mean, I wasn't really expecting us to in our first season. However, I will say we did improve a lot from this past season where the Coyotes finished, being obviously the worst team. Going 40, 36, and 6 isn't too bad. I did also call up Dylan Gunther, so hopefully, like, he got better, like, playing a little bit of a NHL, in the NHL. He's playing the AHL, we called him up. But that was the only thing I did. I didn't make any other moves. But I do want to see how close we were to potentially, let's look at the Western Conference, kind of see it there a little bit better. I mean, we were pretty close to potentially getting in. Missed out by a little bit. I did think we were losing a bit too many games near the end of the season. Granted, we don't have a lot of OT losses. If we lose pretty much. I feel like we have do we have the least amount? I'm kind of curious. Well, we didn't have the least amount of OTLs, but I guess in terms of teams that 6, maybe not. We're near the bottom, but then like there were some teams at 5 and 1, but they ended up like making the playoffs. I don't know. Either way. In terms of the entire league, I just want to see like the goals for per game where we were. I feel like we were kind of like bottom half of the league, and there are your Coyotes right there. And then goals against per game 2.80. We're pretty solid, so maybe we just didn't score enough, which is fine. Granted, we're gonna have a lot of cap room in free agency, so we're definitely gonna try to make some moves then. But Brott was my leading scorer with 77. Clayton Keller had 72. Schmaltz with 61. Heinen 44. Chickmore with 42. Kapanen 40. 30 Fisher. Shane's got 36. 34 for Marino. I'm pretty sure I pronounced his name wrong before. I think it's Kroos, not what was I saying? Kraus? I think I said Kraus before. Kraus, but it's like Crows. Yeah, like that. So I think I might have said it wrong before. If I did, I apologize. Anyways. But yeah, lost kind of, he kind of dropped after that. Either way, I don't know if we'll keep him or not. We'll see. I think he's expiring. He's 25. Maybe we keep him around. It's like a 4th string guy, but that's not important. What's important is looking at our hits, block shots, giveaways, takeaways. So Jake leading the way, 145. Sperry had 128, 107 for Lawson, 119 for Schmaltz, 118. Block shots. Obviously, my defense is going to lead there. 2 guys with 100, so you like to see that from them. Giveaways, 62 from Schmaltz. You don't like to see that. What's going on, Schmaltz? Who was scratched? Oh, POJ, Pierre Oliver. What's going on, buddy? Scratched. That's not. You don't like to see that. Takeaways. Clayton Keller, 126 takeaways. Dude's a swiper beyond repair. Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, we have some young guys on this team, and they definitely kind of exceeded my expectations. I thought we would be near the bottom of the league again. Not the worst team, but just near the bottom. And I mean, yeah, we were the bottom half because we obviously didn't make the playoffs, but it's promising. We were pretty good for the second half of the season. Maybe a couple of scratches, a couple injuries, maybe some guys missing some games, caused us to miss the playoffs, which happens. But goalies, what do we got going on over here? Carl, oh yeah, he got scratched. Yikes. Jonas Johansson, was actually pretty solid. And then, look at that. Johnny Boy, 2.5, 2.4 games. Nice, good for him. So, I already kind of showed you guys the playoff tree. I guess this is pretty much what it is. But, yeah, we'll just see who ends up winning the Stanley Cup. I'll show you guys the awards, which I don't think we'll have any of, and gone to the offseason. So, not a surprise, the Avalanche ended up winning the Stanley Cup again. Well, I mean, again, because they won it. Let's take a look at the awards. Usually I cut this part, but I was quick this time, stopping the simulation. So, did we have anybody get any awards? To me, it doesn't seem like we would, but, okay, McKinnon, Kale, okay. McKinnon again. Cernak. Yeah, it doesn't look like we have anything. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. No Coyotes getting any awards. Not a problem. We got some promising young talent. Let's go on to the draft, I believe, is first. We'll take a look at the lottery and see what pick we have. So your Coyotes have the 11th pick. Fantastic. All right, so Kazian and 2 4th-round picks next season, and I just cleared him to the Bruins for a 3rd-round pick and a 7th-round pick in this year's draft. So we'll have a decent 3rd-round pick, another like middle-of-the-road pick, and then also a 7th-round pick, mainly to clear up cap space. All right, I'm gonna make this pick here. Ethan Gauthier. So yeah, we're gonna go with Ethan. Reason being, I do need some right wingers. I feel like he could kind of fit the timeline with the team. He's 18 years old. Maybe he'll be able to make an appearance either in the NHL if he can improve, and in the AHL for at least a season, get himself some reps, or maybe he could be a useful trade piece in our 3rd and final season. So yeah, Ethan, welcome to the team. So just wanted to give you guys a little recap. So here's the screen. Here's who else we picked up. I just like to show you guys the 1st round because those are where usually the top guys are. So yeah. Other than that, there's your draft recap. Let's go on to the re-sign phase. So obviously we got to get Jesper back. That's our big thing. There's a few guys here that we wouldn't mind signing, like Shane, Heinen, Troy. But other than that, I mean, he doesn't even want to sign. So maybe we try to get better. Maybe upgrade our right defense. Maybe try to get a few guys in free agency. How's our goalies looking? Just kind of curious to see what we got going on there too. Hansen's going to be a free agent. Maybe we try to get a different goalie as well in free agency. We could do that and have Carl come off the bench. That wouldn't be terrible, actually. He'd be like our backup. So I'm just going to give our qualifiers out. And, yeah, we're going to have a lot of money in free agency. So this should be an interesting one. We're going to try to pair up some good players with our young guys. And hopefully that talent mixes. Alright, so Gostisbehere, we got him back. And Danton Heinen, we also got him back. And then I basically just offered a bunch of other guys contracts, mainly the young guys and some of our rookies. So there we go. I'm just going to sim to free agency. And yeah, I'm just going to skip all this. So we're going to get most of them back anyway. So as you guys can see, we have like a ton of money in for free agency. Almost 31 million, a little over 30.5 million. I'm curious to see the depth chart, just how much guys we need. So yeah, we're definitely gonna need some wingers. We got 24 defensemen. That's a lot. I know my face cam was blocking. 4 goalies. We're gonna try to get a couple more of those. But yeah, I might have to maybe move a couple of my defense. I didn't realize I had 24. That's a lot. All right, I traded away Josh Brown. We traded away Villy, and we traded away another defenseman. Basically 3 defensemen. Deneen, and also like a 5th-round pick. I really just did it to just clear up some of my roster spots because I feel like I just way too many defensemen just for the Senators' 5th-round pick. All right, so we signed Andreas Johnson. So welcome to Team Andreas. Welcome. So we got another left winger, pretty solid. Can find a fit for him on the team. I definitely needed some forward depth. I was also able to pick up a goalie for us, and we got James Reimer. So he'll be our new starting goalie, which is pretty cool. Love that for us. That's a pretty solid signing. All right, so we picked up Patrice Bergeron. So we got him. He's going to be one of our centers on the team. So we're getting some veterans to mix in with some of our young guys. I was also able to pick up Joe Pavelski. So another veteran leader presence on the team, and can also play, obviously, both right winger and center. So that definitely helps us out there, and we should be able to find a fit for him on the squad. So welcome to the team, Joe. And we were able to re-sign Jesper Bratt. So that is all the moves we're going to be making. I think we're done with free agency for now, and I will see you guys at the start of the 2nd season, unless there's a trade that I want to make beforehand, but it'd have to be something I really like. So I think we'll just kind of keep the team the way it is, and I'll try to figure out some moves once we get to the start of the 2nd season. All right, so to start the 2nd season, it's an interesting squad that we have. There were some guys I wanted in free agency that I wasn't able to get, but you know what? I'm happy with the team. Bergeron, Chikrin, Clayton Keller, Joe Pavelski, we got Bratt back. Gostisbehere, Schmaltz, Gunther's on the squad for the entire year, which is pretty cool. Hayton, Kapanen, Johnson, Kroos, Soderstrom, Marino, Heinen. We got Boyd still, Travis Boyd doing his thing. POJ. We got Fisher back on the team. JJ on the squad. Mayo's still here as well. I do think I want to maybe get, at some point, maybe a better defenseman, because I feel like our defense chemistry isn't amazing. Like, I'm having to play Victor at the third, Mayo at the second, just because otherwise I'll have negative chem in my line. And then our goalies, obviously, you guys can see, Reimer and Vijmelka. I think it's pretty solid. I think the team is pretty good. We'll see if we can perform well this year entirely. I mean, we were good in the first half of the season as well, so I would assume with a better talent, we should be okay. And obviously, the locker room chemistry is looking pretty good too, and hopefully we can stay healthy. But yeah, let's just take a look at the lines really quickly. You guys can see what we got going on here. So our first line doesn't have chem, but it's neutral. +1 chem here, though, for our second line. Our second line is pretty solid. I mean, I feel like maybe we could do this instead, and maybe have Pavelski be in our first line, and then have Patrice be our second line. I think that might make the most sense if we do it that way. And unless there's any other way we can improve the chem here. Yeah, no, not really. I could do that, but why would I do that? Yeah, alright, we'll just keep it the way it is. I think that's fine like that. So we'll have Pavelski be the first guy. Works for me. And then, yeah, it's our defense. I just had to switch these two. They wanted Mayo playing here. But yeah, I see -1 chem. So I'd rather just have this. So we'll rock with that. I mean, if Coach wants to change that throughout the season, he has the free reign to do so because he's the coach. So that is that. So with that being said, I'm going to simulate, I guess, once again, to January. If there's any moves that pop up that we might want to do, I'll make those moves. Maybe we move Boyd. I mean, he seems to like his role with the team, but I wouldn't mind getting an upgrade for him if I can. Plus, he's expired. Maybe we get like a couple picks for him, and then maybe we could use those picks in a potential package for a better right winger. Maybe, but I mean, I'm kind of cool with keeping him on the team as well, especially if he's happy with his role in the squad. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in January unless we move. Well, I could do this deal with the Kraken here, and we can get an upgrade for our defense. I mean, we could get Vince Dunn, pretty quality defenseman. I would have to trade Lamoureux and Tendek. I know a couple young guys, but are they going to really see much ice time in this 3-season rebuild? I mean, not in the NHL, so I think I'm going to make this move here for Dunn, and hopefully we can find a fit for him on the squad. All right, well, we are in January, and we are sitting at 31-18-2. So the team is playing pretty well, 64 points, best in the Central division, which is pretty cool. Cool to see. So yeah, the team's playing well. Can't complain about that. Hopefully we can kind of continue playing well throughout this season. And Bergeron leading my team in points with 51, accounted for. Clayton Keller doing his thing out there. He's got 47. Jesper's got 43. Pavelski with 40. Dylan, my man Dylan Gunther's been pretty good. Kapanen, 36. Schmaltz with 26. Jacobs got 20. Travis Boyd with 19. The man, the myth, the legend himself. As you guys can see, those are our leading point getters. Points accounted for. We've got hits. Who's the physical man on the team? Jacob, obviously 98, 79. Sperry, he's doing his thing out there. Soderstrom's doing his thing. I think I might have said Soderstrom before. You know what it is? I always see the O and I'm thinking, oh, ooh, but I think it's a long O. Yeah, I'm still learning the names in the vernacular of some of those letters. Sometimes I just happen to forget. So yeah, a lot of people in the comments last year would be like, oh, TJP, you don't know any names. They're like, yeah, I kind of know that. I mean, I'm not, out here claiming that I'm an expert at hockey, right? Kind of here to just have fun. It's a video game, right? But anyways, I get it. I'm doing my best. I am trying. I did take the criticism. Like, all right, you're right. I could probably learn the names. Not perfect, but we're getting there. Right? Anyways, that's not important. What's important is our block shots. You guys can see who's doing well out there. Obviously, our defense looking pretty solid, I'd say. Giveaways. Boom. POJ, 52. He's also playing out of position. I do need to run to the right defenseman. If I could try to trade for one, that'd be great. Which I might do. Because I feel like I definitely need another right defenseman. I feel like that would help us out. Getting another defenseman. Kind of just fit what we're trying to do. Because, I mean, yeah. POJ should be an LD. But he's playing on the opposite side of the ice. So honestly, it's not terrible. I mean, granted, we've been really good, so that's that. I mean, we're scoring at a pretty high clip, 3.2 goals for per game, which is near the top of the league, and then 3 goals against is, I mean, it's not terrible, I don't think, right? 3.0 goals against per game. It could be worse, as you guys can see. It definitely could be worse. Of course, it could be better, but it definitely could be worse. So, but if I could find another right defenseman, that would be pretty solid. So we'll look to see if there's anything out there. Usually, though, I feel like those are the hardest ones to find in the league. Positions for it. I just feel like there's not really like a lot of good ones. I mean, there's good ones, but in terms of depth at positions, I feel like that's one of the weaker spots from what I've seen. I've seen a lot of good left defensemen, or just more of them. They seem to be more of a surplus, or the balances between them. But I guess the average of the means. But that's just my opinion. Maybe just from what I've seen. I could be completely wrong on that assumption, but. That is that, though. However, I do have a couple guys in mind that we could potentially trade for. I forgot to check his goalie stats. 2.80 for James Reimer. Who's doing pretty okay? He's doing okay. Carl Vjamelka letting me down a little bit. 3.38 is a backup, which is a lot. But you know what? He's 8-5-1, so I can't complain about that too much, I guess, right? As long as we're winning games, and if we're losing games, it's an OT, because at least we get points. That's what I'd like to do that. So if we're going to lose, let's lose an OT, guys. But with that being said, if I can find a trade for a right defenseman, I'll make it. Otherwise, I guess I'll just keep the team the way it is since, I mean, we're not really losing, so. All right, well, I traded for Nils Lundqvist from the Stars. So we got him. I traded away J.J. Moser. Wasn't even in the NHL anymore. So we traded away him. And I also traded away Lutz, who was kind of like a young prospect. So I traded away him and a few draft picks. So we get our guy from the Stars, who could probably help us out on the defensive end, just in terms of chemistry. He's a pretty solid player. He's also really young, so he'll develop with us too. That's the only move I'm going to make. I'll see you guys at the end of the season. Alright, well, it looks like it'll be ending the season 51-27-4, atop of the Central. So that's cool to see. Weird that, I don't know how the geography works. But, well, yeah, I guess. I'm just looking at the teams here. Okay, I mean, it's just weird to see Arizona in the Central. I don't know. A few other these teams, but I guess, yeah, all right, works for me. So I guess we'll just take a look at the leaders since our season's over. Keller had the leading points. Clayton, 73 points. Treese with 71. We've got Bratt with 68. Pavelski, 58. 51 from Nick Schmaltz. Dylan's got 47 as well. I mean, the team was really good, you guys could see. So love to see the squad performing the way that, I actually didn't even think we'd be the number one team in our division. So that's great to see. Obviously, we'll take a look and see who we're taking on the playoffs. But Jacob leading the team in hits, 147, 126 from Victor. KK with 124. Vince Dunn had 110 hits as well. Barrett Hayton doing his thing out there. John Marino, 92, as well as T. Boyd. Andres, 90 hits as well. Block shots. 112 from Reno. Victor's got 110, 105 for Jacob. Go to spare, 103. Lundqvist, who we traded for, I mean, obviously the chemistry really didn't fit, but just, I guess overall he's a better defenseman. And plus he played both, so 78 from him. Giveaways, Victor led the team in that, boo-hoo-hoo. In terms of takeaways, got 115 from Patrice Bergeron. He was awesome there. Pavelski, 90 as well from him. So, I mean, this team is good. Definitely a pretty solid team. We made the playoffs, which is good to see. And hopefully we can make the playoffs again next year. I still think we're maybe, like, a couple of moves away. But you never know. I mean, hey, you never know in the NHL. We could go on a hot run, get really hot, and make a huge run, which would be great. So, what am I looking for? I guess team stats. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to show you guys the goalies, and I keep forgetting to show you guys that. We're actually the third best team in the NHL, which is pretty impressive. Best in the West, too. The Islanders, the Lightning, yeah, the best in the West. So, cool stuff there. In terms of goals for per game, 3.11 puts us, I would say, near the top of the league. And then 2.73 goals against. Yeah, we were top 5 in that department. Or actually number 4, I think. Was it 4 or 5? I think can't really count, but we were good there though. And yeah, I forgot to check his goalies, so let's see how they looked. But nope, this day. There we go. That trigger. Got the right one that time. James Reimer, 2.58 goals against average, and Carl's back up 2.93. So yeah, they were really good. So I can't complain about that. But what I can take a look at is the playoff tree, because we got to simulate a day, see who we take it on. I'm sure the standings need to be kind of finalized a little bit. There we go. The Edmonton Oilers. That is who we're going to be taking on. So you guys can see. There we go. Edmonton, 7-game series. Obviously, they have a pretty solid team. We don't have to talk about that. You guys already know. They've got the boy, Connor McDavid. They got a few guys. They have a lot of guys on the team. They have the talent to win. But I do feel like our team is pretty good. I don't know why I'm here. I meant to show you guys the playoff tree, but you know what? You guys can see it here, so it doesn't really matter that much. So, we're going to go game by game, and then if I want to hop on in... I was about to say, did we beat them already? Well, we beat them 4-0 last time. We shut them out. Maybe is that, more to come? Let's find out. Game 1, we lose in OT. So, couldn't shut them out this time. All right, game 2. Lose 5-2. We're down 2-0. Got to win 4 straight. It's going to be tough. We lose in OT again. Are we going to lose? Are we going to get swept? We got swept. We lost 3 times in OT. All year, we didn't lose in OT, and now all of a sudden, we're losing in OT. 3 times. After shutting them out 4-0, by the way. Mind you. So, we got swept. We got swept. I'm just looking to see how we played against them in other games. Yeah, it's been close. We we did get shut out. We got shut out 6-0 by them a while ago. I feel like they had our number. Okay, yeah, they might have had our number this year. I mean, granted, we're still a young team, so we're gonna continue to develop, which is fine. I honestly think we overperformed, but then we got to the playoffs and choked and get swept. So it's fine. We still got another season. Hopefully, we can build upon this and maybe at least get to the second round. Especially if we're gonna win our division, 106 points, have the most points in the Western Conference. But yeah, losing like that is a little bit unfortunate. So I guess with that being said, let's just go on to the off season and try to improve. Through free agency, make a couple more moves, and obviously just based on young guys developing and their overalls going up, they should be able to improve, and chemistry should be able to build up. Hopefully our sweep doesn't really kill our morale. It might, but I still think our team is pretty good. Actually, I want to take a look at the playoff stats before I simulate. I just want to see who did well, who didn't. Clayton Keller did his thing out there. Tried his best. Counted for 4 points. Oh, that's not the right one. There it is. Yeah, Clayton Keller counted for 4 points for our team. Jasper Bratt. Yeah, so you guys see 25. So they got time. Obviously, Pavelski's going to regress. And Bergeron's going to regress because they're 39 and 38. So, assuming they don't retire. And yeah, see, we have a lot of young guys on the team. So, I'm sure next year will be, they'll be even better. Okay, Colorado wins again. So, there you go. The Avalanche win again. Stanley Cup. So, in the video, it's back-to-back. But if you count this past season, 3 in a row. Did Toronto also win, too? The Calder Cup? I think they're on a two-win streak, too. I don't know who won the Calder Cup. I'll be honest. I don't really pay attention to AHL. But, I don't really pay attention to minor league hockey. So I don't know who won it this past season. I guess we could look it up. Yeah, most recent one was Chicago. That's who it was. So, in terms of the recording date, right? So 2022, the 2021-2022 season. But yeah, any awards for us? Yeah, see, look at that. Connor McDavid. I mean, like, you know, he's just too good, right? And obviously, like, the Avalanche just have a ridiculous team. And yeah, no Coyotes to be found on any of these for any of these awards, which is fine. We still got one more season. Let's see if we can build upon this year. All right, so we didn't have a lottery pick. We do have the, I want to say, what is it, the 27th pick. I'll be honest, I wouldn't mind trying to move that for somebody. So if there's anything out there, I'll try to see if I can muster up a move. All right, I traded for Seth Jarvis. I traded away Connor Geeky, and Ethan Gauthier, and of our 27th first round pick in this upcoming draft. So we get Seth Jarvis. I feel like that's a pretty solid pickup for us. He's a young guy, 22 years old. He'll be one of our centers. He can also play right winger too. So I think that's the only move we're gonna make though in the draft. We'll let the CP draft the rest of our guys, and or I'll draft the rest of our guys. Some of them at least, maybe. But I mean, they're not even gonna make an impact in this upcoming season, regardless. So, all right. So just to show you guys the people that ended up getting drafted. I mean, they're not going to make too much of a difference in this upcoming season regardless, but just in case you were curious. Alright, so obviously Seth Jarvis, I did trade for him. I do got to re-sign him, but we can qualify him. A few other guys like Hayton, we want to keep around, right? Barrett Hayton, yeah, he wants an extension. Sperry Kapanen, do I want him? Probably, right? I would assume. I mean, he wants to stay. I mean, I wouldn't mind keeping him around. I mean, there's a few guys here that I'd like to re-sign. Vince Dunn, maybe. You know, we could try to keep him around as well. But yeah, there's a lot of guys that are up for agency that I'd like to keep on the team. A few guys that aren't. I was trying to make a couple trades. I probably should have ended up trading a couple of guys here. Didn't realize that they would be, well, unrestricted free agents, but here we are. So a lot of my team I'm going to have to tender contracts to. We'll have to try to see how much of these guys we'd end up keeping. Our goalies seem to be okay, though. They're locked down. But they have regressed, though, a bit, so I don't know how that's going to work out. But with that being said, I will see you guys once I have made some signs. All right, so Johnson doesn't want to accept, but we did get Boyd back. KK re-signed. That's cool to see. Vince Dunn re-signing. And then a bunch of these young guys down here we're going to end up keeping. So, I guess I'm just going to go to free to see a few guys that qualifiers, but I'm not going to end up tendering them. I don't know how many guys we're going to have, so I guess with that being said, I'll just see you guys at free agency. We'll see how much money we need, but also I got to re-sign a couple guys like Jarvis, who I traded for, and Braden as well. So we're going to do that, and yeah, I will see you at free agency. Alright, I'm going to just do the Kraken. I have to shed some space, so Boyd's going to have to be flipped. So I'm going to just get a second, fourth round pick. We get a little bit of money here. I'm going to try to re-sign a few of my guys. I am kind of near the cap. So yeah, I'm going to flip away Boyd for... Alright, so we're going to sign Barrett Hayton. So we got him back. Welcome back to the squad, Hayton. And also Victor Soderstrom, we got him back too. So welcome back, Victor. Alright, Crows, Kirk... we for Crows, Lawson Crows, okay, traded Lawson Crows, I traded Kirk, and I traded away, I'm blanking on his name, fourth round pick, wow, I forgot who else I traded. Let me just show you guys who I traded. Hold on. I'm blanking on the guy. Oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. I completely forgot who I traded. I traded away a defenseman, and I'm blanking on his name. I just traded away, but I traded for Taylor Radish. I did that trade because I needed to clear up some cap space. So I wanted to re-sign Seth Jarvis, and I couldn't afford him, and I needed a right winger anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna get back Seth Jarvis, and I'm just gonna fill out the rest of the team. I do think I need to sign a couple other guys too, like Lundqvist. We need to get him back, so I'll probably do that too. But yeah, I want to get Jarvis back, so I'll offer him a contract, and then we'll go from there. All right, I was able to re-sign Lundqvist, and not Jarvis. That Jarvis did not want to re-sign back, so still haven't gotten him back yet. And there we go, we got him back. There we go. Okay, I just remember who the other person was. I literally just remembered who it was. It wasn't Nick. It was Dyson Mayo. That's who it was. It was Mayo. That's why I traded away. I traded away Mayo. I was like, wait, why was that? Why did I think Nick? You know what I was thinking? I was thinking Nick Ritchie. I don't know why I was thinking Nick Ritchie, but I was thinking Nick. I was like, oh, Nick Ritchie. But no, it was like, oh, wait, no, it was a defense. And I was like, oh, that's not him. I was like, oh, wait a minute. It was Mayo. So, yeah, that's who it was. But I think I'm done with signings. The only problem is I do need to fill out the rest of my roster. I don't have much money. So it's basically just going to be, like, affordable players. So chances are it's probably going to be, like, guys that are two-way contract players. Maybe we get some depth guys on the team. Oh, it's Stetcher's here. Ukestad. Hey, what's up, man? Maybe we get those guys. I don't know. But yeah, minimum guys. So with that being said, I'll just see you guys at the start of third. All right, so third and final season. I'm just going to show you guys the roster that we have here. So Chychrun's my best player. We got Clayton Keller, Pavelski, Bergeron, Gunther, Brat, Godespair, Seth Jarvis, Schmaltz, Lundqvist, Hayton, Barrett Hayton's here, KK, we've got Soderstrom, we've got Vinny Dunn, Marino, Radish, Sanford's on the squad, I brought him on, Bashan, and then Trevor Lewis brought in, Luch. So, I mean, like, honestly, like, it's not the best, especially our fourth line is not amazing, and our goalies are still the same. Reimer's really regressed. He's making $8 million as a backup. Maybe we try to get a better goalie before we start simulating. I think that might be the move. Because, yeah, I don't know if I really like that. Alright. Curious to see the lines really quickly. So let's look at those. Just show you guys what I ended up doing here. So, our top line, this gets us plus 3 chem, so we're going to rock with that. I mean, the only thing I could think of is if we, Seth Jarvis doesn't need to fit too much, so I guess he fits there. Yeah, our chem is, our first line's pretty good with chem. Other than that, not so much. And then defensively, a little bit better. Everybody's in position. So yeah, we'll see how well we could do. But yeah, I mean, if I could find a trade for a better goalie, I'm going to make it. Otherwise, I guess I can keep the team the way it is. Alright, I traded for Spencer Knight and Jenny Dunaf from the Panthers. We traded away Reimer and 3 first-round picks. Hopefully that doesn't mess with our chemistry too much. It might affect the locker pretty heavily, but I mean, Spencer Knight's going to be a really good goalie for us, hopefully. He's young, he's 23, so hopefully he develops something good. Obviously, he's already really good, but you know what I mean. But yeah, he'll be the starter, and hopefully this team is good enough to maybe get back into the playoffs. So I'll see you guys at January, unless there's a trade that we want to make before then. But I think we'll rock with the team the way it is. All right, so we're at in January, and we didn't make any moves. We're currently 20, 17, and 12, which isn't bad, but it's not amazing. I mean, we're 4th right now in the rankings. We're in a pretty tough Central this year, but we're fighting with the Stars. We've had a lot of good losses in the sense of we've been losing a lot of games in OT and shootouts. So had those have been regular losses, a lot of those we'd be in a lot worse shape. But it's still not the best. Obviously, being 20, 17, and 12, you'd like to be a bit better than that. But it's okay. I mean, let's take a look at who's doing well and who's not. Patrice Bergeron still leading my team with points accounted for 38. Clayton Keller's doing his thing out there as well. Jasper Bratt, 32. Also Seth Jarvis with 32, 30 from Jacob, which is nice to see. So you guys see there, take a look at that. For the most part, those are our guys. And then we've got our hits. Who's leading there? Jacob's got 88, 87 for Victor. KK's got 76. Barrett Hayton's got 66. He's got 76. He's got 66. Nick Schmaltz with 64. And then it kind of drops down after that. In terms of our block shots, mainly our defensemen, obviously. We're going to be in the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then our giveaways, once again, probably going to be, well, no. It's a mix. Bergeron, Brat, but also Jake and Victor. Basically our guys on our number 1 line for the most part. Although Bergeron, I think, is he on our second line? I feel like he might be. I don't know. It's either him or Pavelski. I thought I'd switch them, but maybe like coach switch them back. And then yeah, takeaways leading there. We got Keller, Gunther, Bergeron, Jarvis, Pavelski. So yeah. With that being said, team's looking all right. Forgot to show you guys goalies, so let's look at that really quick. Goalies. So how are we looking there? Pretty solid. 2.3 run from Spencer Knight. He's been great. Every time Carl plays, though, not so much. So not so much there, but I mean, I guess it's fine. You know, we'll leave it be. But yeah, I mean, 52 points. We're not really scoring a lot. As you can see, 2.57 goals for per game is not great. In fact, it's near the bottom of the league. However, 2.69 goals against is pretty dang good. So our defense is really playing well. We're just not scoring a lot. So hopefully we can kind of turn that around. Obviously, you guys can see my leader in points is at 38. So that's not very high. If there's a move that pops up that I like before the deadline, I'll show you guys. But I think let's just rock out with this team and see what they can do. See if we can have a good second half this year. All right, you know what? We're going to do this deal with the Sharks. We're going to get Nico Sturm. So we're going to get him from the Sharks, 4th-round pick. We're just going to trade away a couple of our picks. It's a small move there, but he might be able to help us out on that front because we do need some extra forwards and maybe some more offense. And he seems to fit well on the team. Well, it looks like we missed out on the playoffs in our 3rd and final season. Barely. And the reason for that, and it's kind of insane, if we look at the standings. I mean, we went 36, 32, and 14. We had a lot of close losses. We lost our last 3 games of the season. And, you know, if we look at the Eastern Conference, had we... not what Eastern Conference. Western Conference. Sorry. Had we had beaten a couple of these teams here and won a few of our games, we could have made the playoffs. We literally tied with the LA Kings, and we lost out basically on a tiebreaker because we lost 3 straight games to end the season. Like, it's kind of, you can't make this stuff up kind of thing. It's unfortunate. And the one time we made the playoffs, we had the best record, and we got swept by the Oilers. And it just so happened that we basically tied with the Kings, and had we had won our last few games, we would have made the playoffs. But unfortunately, that was not the case. Where were we in terms of goals for per game? 2.84. And it looks like, yeah, 3.12 goals against per game really kind of came down upon us. I thought maybe we could hold it down, and unfortunately we couldn't. So here's your leading point totalers. Keller, Bratt, Bergeron led the way. In terms of, what was it, hits, we can take a look at that, who led there. Chicharron led the way. Victor, KK, Schmaltz, Sturm, who we traded for, had 101 hits. Ghost Despair had 104 hits. So did Jacob and Lundqvist. They each had all above 100. And our leaders in giveaways, which you don't want to lead to win. As you guys can see, basically the same guys that led in block shots. And here's your takeaways: Keller, Bergeron, Gunther, Pavelski. So, yeah, not the best way to end this video, unfortunately. Honestly, Spencer Knight was really good. He was a solid trade for us. Unfortunately, Carl's our backup, 3.03, 6'10", 1. If he was just a little bit better. I mean, we had 13 OT losses, including, like, shootouts, right? With Spencer Knight. So, I mean, he kept it kind of close. Unfortunately, like I said, our last 3 games of the season, we lost. It just sucks, but it is what it is, right? As you guys can see, we lost to the Oilers, we lost to the Wild, and we lost to the Sharks. We basically lost 5 of our last 6 games. Yeah, it's unfortunate. What are you going to do? I guess that being said, let's just simulate, see who wins Stanley Cup, and then go on. So the Jets ended up winning the Stanley Cup. Let's take a look at the awards and see if we happen to have had any awards. Maybe Spencer Knight might have got an award. We'll see. But other than that, there are the awards there. Individual awards. Did we have any Coyotes making any of these, winning these awards? Look at that. The Jack Adams Award. McKee won it. And because they won 80, they got 86 points, and they tied with us. He won the Coach of the Year. Good for them. But no awards for the Coyotes. All right, guys. Well, we got to the playoffs once in our second season. We actually ended up doing overachieved in our first year, overachieved in our second year, underachieved in the playoffs, and then this year I kind of felt like we underachieved, but also tied for 86 points, which is kind of unfortunate. Could have made the playoffs and maybe made a run, but you know, sometimes it doesn't work out like that. But with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. We'll have another Easter Conference team coming up next video that we do for NHL. And with that being said, take care. See you all soon. Peace.